Looking forward, what can we expect from President Donald Trump after he takes the oath of office? Chief National Correspondent Ed Henry is here tonight with a preview of his possible first 100 days. Good evening, Ed.
Good to see you, Brett. The president-elect immediately started working the phones today. He spoke to Nancy Pelosi about a jobs bill on Capitol Hill as he gets down to the serious business of governing.
Drain the swamp. We're going to go to Washington. We're going to drain the swamp.
Donald Trump has run his campaign pledging to tear Washington to pieces. But as inaugural construction begins, the improbable president-elect now has to figure out how to build Washington back up.
Well, the two words that come immediately to mind are outreach and inclusion. There's got to be a lot of outreach, and it's got to come both ways.
Former Democratic leader Tom Daschle dealt with a 50-50 Senate and sometimes managed to work with Republican President George W. Bush. But diplomacy is not Trump's forte. Can Trump control his tongue and his Twitter feed? And can he bury the hatchet with Speaker Paul Ryan?
Well, so you can see there, I got a little problem with the tape, but the bottom line is that you have Republicans promising that they're going to investigate all kinds of things up there in terms of oversight. With Hillary Clinton, it would have been investigations of the Clinton Foundation and whatnot, but with Donald Trump, they're going to hold his feet to the fire on some issues. And then when it comes to Democrats, you've got Supreme Court nominations, all kinds of other things out there. But Tom Daschle says, look, this was such a nasty race. That expectations are low for this president to get much done, that if he believes as a Democrat that if Donald Trump can get even a few things done, Tom Daschle says he's going to get a lot of credit.
You know, Paul Ryan today said a unified Republican government can fix our country's big problems, and that Donald Trump pulled off this win in a way that he has a mandate, and he talked about Obamacare.
Yeah, and they want to repeal that right away. You have that. That would be a huge blow to President Obama's legacy. This is, I believe, the first time maybe since the Eisenhower days that you've got a Republican president, Republican House, Republican Senate. And that means that while you have a president who, you know, a lot of Republicans were skeptical of, that he was too liberal, you could actually have a conservative shift.
And what about the cabinet? I mean, there have been all kinds of rumors about who he might put in key positions, but we don't really know for sure.
No, and they've been keeping this very close to the vest. But the bottom line is when you talk to people inside the Trump campaign, they say Rudy Giuliani is going to have whatever he wants, whether it's Attorney General, Homeland Security Secretary, and Lieutenant General Flynn as well is going to have a major national security role. Could be National Security Advisor, Defense Secretary, Secretary of State, but those two were with him every step of the way. A big question is going to be what happens with Chris Christie. He's the chair of the presidential transition. He's gotten high marks for that, but after the Bridgegate scandal, is he really going to have a major role in the administration?
And Newt Gingrich.
I mean, he's been talked about as a former Secretary of State as well. And look, you know, we had the story last week about Sheldon Adelson pouring $25 million into the race at the last minute. I'm now hearing that he poured in something in the neighborhood of $75 million as Republicans very late decided, look, Donald Trump can actually win this. $75 million to this PAC, Future 45, run by the Ricketts family in Chicago. They were doing get-out-the-vote phone calls. They were doing digital ads, micro-targeting, and TV ads in almost every battleground where they won. So the people close to this are saying, look, Ricketts, Adelson, some of these big Republican players really helped elect Donald Trump.
Okay, Ed, thank you.
Good to see you.